All right, good afternoon. Thanks everybody for joining us. We'll just go ahead and open it up for questions. JJ?
Hey, Jeff, how you doing?
Great, JJ. How are you?
Not bad. Thanks for joining us. I guess just looking at this class overall with the 5 guys that you added, are you pretty happy with, everything you checked off with in terms of getting the guys at the positions you needed?
Yeah, we are. Every college coach in the country is going to tell you that they did absolutely perfect, right? And that we swung higher than we have since we've been here. This is our 3rd year. I wouldn't say it was a totally normal year, but at least we had kids in camp. So we feel better about the evaluation part of this than we did the first 3 years we've been here. Not 3 years, 3 recruiting classes. Just because we had them in camp, we got to see them through schools, and it wasn't just virtual recruiting. It was like in-person recruiting, real relationships. So we feel more confident in what we got because we just know them better. But we swung higher. We swung for kids that maybe in the past UTSA might not think they could get, but we're going to the AAC. We're very aware of that, and we understand this class will be the ones that'll be playing right when we get deep into that conference.
Greg?
Jeff, Zack Frazier enters as the highest rated recruit in program history by a couple different rankings, I believe. What can you tell us about him and his potential impact next year?
Well, his first name is actually pronounced Zay. I know it looks like Za, but just so we'll all know. That was a huge area of emphasis for us, Greg, losing Tariq at corner. We didn't have Tariq but one game out of those last 5. But you could tell we missed him. We really missed him in the bowl game. I thought we got really exploited by a very, very good football player. And we knew that was an area of need. Our secondary in general is an area of need because we need to get some more depth back there. So we're very excited to get Zay. Huge get for us, and huge area of need. Great player, great young man.
It's a little bit of an unusual situation with him signing at Kentucky in the early period and then ending up here. Can you take us through a little bit how that came together?
I really don't know. I know we were crushed. I laugh because I told the staff I was still shook up last year. I remember, seeing some of you guys in private, and y'all were like, man, for the graded classes you signed, you sure looked like you were depressed during the press conference. And I guess I did not do a very good job of a poker face. But he's one of those guys we lost the very, very, very last moment, like the very last moment. And we were just shocked we lost him. So that he appeared back in the transfer portal and that we were able to get him here is truly a miracle. And I'm a lot happier in this press conference in February than I was the one in December because of it.
Okay, Ryder?
Coach, this was the first recruiting season where you had to deal with the new NIL laws and everything. Did you sense a difference in how you were going about things or how maybe players were approaching the process with everything?
Yeah. It's just a tough question to answer because, if I get to give him my opinions, it just creates tremendous controversy on both sides of the fence. So, but yes, very different. I gave the analogy of the dinosaurs the last time we talked. I don't want to be a dinosaur, right? I want to adapt. I don't want to be extinct.
Hey, Chase?
Hey, Coach, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Awesome, good deal. Hey, quick sidebar from signing day. I want to ask you about the Senior Bowl participants right now, Spencer Burford and Tariq Woolen. Number one, what does this mean for your program to have 2 out here representing? And number 2, if you could just kind of describe the impact of each on your program.
Well, 1, we're very proud of them, right? But 2, I'm very proud of how they're representing us down there. I've not coached them up on what to say or the helmet, wanting the 210 on the helmet. That's truly authentic. I'm mad at myself that I didn't think to use it for a recruiting tool, but those kids, I've been texting them, they're very proud of UTSA and they really are committed to putting this place on the map, and thrilled for them. 2 great kids. and really thrilled for Sincere as well to get invited to the combine. Our pro day, which we're looking at March the 9th of doing our pro day, is going to be a very, very exciting time in the history of our program. There's going to be every NFL team here, I would bet. And I think we've got some other guys. I'm very excited to see what C9 does, Clarence Hicks. I think there's real potential for him. And I'm just excited for all those guys.
One more quick one for you. Savvion Harris, just had a chance to catch up with him. I want to know your perspective on his success outside of football and how he's helping young men right now.
Savvion is going to be huge for the success of our program, right? We've been very intentional of helping Savvion because he's a very good kid. He's smart. He's a great representative of our program. And he's going to be big in the future of our program. He can help our kids in so many different ways, talk to them so many different ways about money advice, connection to the city. It's just an exciting time at UTSA, and people like Savvion Harris are going to help get us where we need to get to. And it's what makes this place so special, Chase. So many people are so committed to seeing UTSA be successful. Last night, the Spurs game, I know I brought them terrible luck, but everywhere I go, now, if I don't wear my cap, I doubt anybody even knows who I am. But when I always wear the same cap, it's pretty easy to recognize me and my goofy self, right? And I bet you half the people were like BirdsUp, Roadrunners, great season. And but it's going to take all of us. We're nowhere near where we need to be. But again, I know I say the same things over and over again. We're a lot closer today than we were yesterday.
Okay, back to you, Greg.
So Jeff, where do you guys stand right now as far as the numbers you've brought in and where that leaves you in terms of scholarships for potential transfers or late additions in the process?
Yeah, we signed 18. We had 23, and we were trying to save 3. And then, we got, you always get a little unexpected good news and some unexpected bad news, right? So we had a couple of kids there that, changed their minds on us very late, suddenly, shockingly. But so we picked up 2 more numbers. So now we've got 5 left, which I would imagine is going to be the most active transfer portal since we've been doing this. So we'll be ready to roll. We've still got some areas of need we've got to address. We'll go through spring ball, reassess, and have 5 scholarships for some people we turned away a lot of people now. There's a lot of people dying to come to UTSA, but we just got committed up, filled up. And where I'm a little different, Greg, when you commit to me, I commit back to you. And we really try to be people of our word. And when it doesn't go right, we're not going to oversign. We're not going to do the Texas High School Coaches Association that way. We're going to honor, our commitments and take care of those kids. And sometimes it bites you when you have a kid that commits back to you and he changes his mind late.
Would you mind elaborating on some of those areas of need and what positions specifically you might target going forward?
No, I don't mind. I think we had to really address our secondary, having some quality kids at corner and safety. We're a little low in our numbers there. We could probably afford to get 1 more linebacker. And it's not that there's anything wrong with that room. I don't want my current players to think I'm upset with them. That's not what I'm saying. But I think I've told y'all before, we try to have 40 numbers for the offense, 40 numbers for the defense, 3 for the special teams, and 2 for the head coach, just to do what I want to do with those 2. Now, I understand all 85 of them are technically mine, but we like to know that our running back room, the target number is 5. The quarterback room, the number is 5. The tight end room, the number is 5. The receiver room, the number is 10. The line room, the number is 15, right? We like to know that each position has certain numbers we try to stay in. I've worked with people in the past, and there's still people that do this. Player available. Well, the problem with that, in my opinion, is you'll end up with defensive line, 8 offensive linemen, but we all know 5 linemen play at a time, and you'd like to be 3 deep, so you need 15 linemen, right? So when I tell you that's the areas of need, it's not that we're disappointed in our players that are there. Again.
We're back.
All right, there we go. Sorry about that, man. Oh, I lost him. Internet connection is unstable. I see JJ.
All right, there we go. I think we're good.
We struggle paying the electric bill and the Wi-Fi bill, man. Times are hard. They gave that dang new coach a new contract.
All right, Greg, I don't know how much you heard of the answer. Did it cut off at offensive line?
Yeah, but we're good. I think we can move on to the next one. I got what I needed out of that.
He might be frozen. There, oh, there we go. Okay. I think they just reset the internet on us because mine went out too. JJ?
Jeff, this class ranks pretty high in terms of what the program has done previously. What's your reaction to, it being the highest rated class ever?
Well, I think I alluded to that earlier. We swung higher than normal. We went for some kids in the past. We might have just flirted with them. We didn't just dive all the way in. But we rode it out this year. We went in there swinging and we just rode it all the way to the finish line. And we're very pleased with that. And I've told y'all before, I don't keep up with that, but I'd be lying if I hadn't reached out to JJ here the last couple of days, just like I know President Amy watches it. He's always wanting to know, and I didn't want to be caught off guard. So I was, again, like last year, I was shocked. We were the lead of the conference. This year, I was shocked to know it was the highest one in the history of our school. But when I look back at it, I shouldn't be, because we swung higher. And we went for longer players. We went for faster players. We went for guys that we thought could hold up in the AAC. If we didn't get them, we just decided, well, that's okay. We'll wait and go in the portal. We weren't going to settle on a kid. And we signed 10 more Texas high school football players this class. So we're still at 100%. I think we're at 40 now in our 3 signing classes. And I believe we'll be the only school in the state that can say the last 3 seasons they're 100% Texas high school football players in their signing class.
All right, back to you.
I'll say this too, JJ. I don't know if you noticed when we got here, I assumed that almost every player on our team had either won a state championship or played in a state championship. 2 players on our team had ever done that. There's 6 on this team that either played in the state championship or won a championship. And I think that now every player on my team has won a championship. And now we're recruiting players that have won championships. And that goes a long ways. You got to know how to win before you can win.
Okay, Hector.
Afternoon, Coach.
Hi, Hector.
Hey, you kind of answered my question there in the last little bit of your answer to JJ's question. I was just curious as to how much, when you swing higher, how much of the success that you get from swinging higher do you think comes from the success you guys have enjoyed, particularly this past year?
No doubt. Our logo is just recognizable now. Our brand is recognizable now. We're going to battle with schools now that in the past you would expect us to lose to. And now we're all ticked off if we didn't beat them. And that's just a little bit different. And that's just part of it, right? And even the ones we missed on that might have went Power 5 up north or even Power 5 all the way east, where we lost some kids to some really good schools. With this new transfer portal, you should be nice to kids anyway. You should always be recruiting your own class. You shouldn't be mean to them when they leave you. Because who knows, they might be calling us right back. Like, here's what's the biggest difference to me, Hector. Used to, when this day was over, we were all like, hell, let's go get us a glass of sweet tea down the Riverwalk and let's call it a day, right? Those suckers might enter the transfer portal tomorrow. We hadn't done anything but got a little rent agreement going here. And we got to keep recruiting. This thing's not over. This is not over till I guess they graduate. I guess that's when it's over. So it's not like, what does this day even mean anymore, man? Just a time for us to all see each other and have a party. That's about all it's for, right?
Well, we get 2 of them now. 2 days, right? Appreciate it, Coach. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Steven, you're up.
Hey, Coach, how's it going?
I'm doing great, Stephen. How are you?
I'm good. You brought 3 guys in from East Texas in this class. What do those 3 bring? And also, how important is it to you to keep that pipeline to East Texas going forward?
Well, obviously, I've known Chris and Brandon probably the longest. I've known Chris. I taught his mom. That shows you how old I am. And Kurt went to school with Brandon Tennyson's father, or Katie did, his wife. So I've known those kids their entire lives. And then who's my third one? Who am I forgetting? Chris, Brandon. Who's my third one?
Steven, are you counting the guy from Dayton?
No, there's not a third one, right?
No.
We got. Well, you might be counting. You could be counting
Dayton.
Southeast Texas, right?
Yeah.
They
have pine trees down there. So
well, you're right. It's Southeast Texas. I mean, you're technically correct. I would thank you, Kyle, for the bell out there. Cam, I've known his high school coach literally forever, and that was a heck of a battle. Now we went toe to toe with some good ones, and that was a great job by Joe Price and Justin Burke getting him done. I was nervous all the way to the end, getting him signed. We've got him called as an athlete because we don't know where we're going to play him yet. Defensive end, Will, tight end. He's a really good football player. Obviously, Brandon's going to come here as a quarterback. And then Chris was a guy that came from Colorado that we battled some really, really good schools on. And we just had too many connections. And thank goodness we got him. He's a really good football player. And we were spread out. If you look, we hit San Antonio, got some kids out of San Antonio. Not as many as we wanted. We lost on a couple of those kids. Maybe they'll come to their senses and come back home later. Hit Houston hard again. Got Austin. It basically went 4 in Houston, 2 in East Texas, 3 if you want to count. It depends on where you put Dayton and all that. And then the Austin area 2 and San Antonio area 2 for our 10.
Yeah, I included Dayton in the greater Houston area in our breakdown. But Ryder, you're up.
Coach, you've got 2 quarterbacks coming in for this signing class with Diego and Austin, and then, of course, Brandon coming from Gilmer, which you know very well. Everything. What will those 2 guys really bring to your room up here in San Antonio?
I just guessed, that one of those 3 kids, out of Frank, if Frank stayed healthy the whole year, I predicted Lowell and Josh would probably move on, which I love those kids. You know how much I love them, and they'll be greatly missed here. So we knew we had to take 2 quarterbacks to start replenishing that room. So we've had the luxury of that being an old veteran room the last couple of years, and we just got real young real fast, right? Because that goes, now you got Cam, you've got Eddie Lee, you've got Brandon, you've got Diego, but we got a heck of a walk-on coming here. I already do in Zach Frazier. He's a heck of a player. He's a good JUCO player. And now we've got Tanner Murray coming here, who we had offered. And those other kids committed before Tanner. And now we've got Tanner. I hope I can say that he's a walk-on. I can talk about him. I guess I can. He's announced he's coming here. I guess that's all good. So thank you, JJ. Room's going to be young, but talented. We're always competing, right? But Frank returning, won us a conference championship. It'd be hard for him to not be the starter. Those guys are all getting in place for one heck of a competition when Frank ever graduates. I guess he's graduated if he ever gives up his playing days.
All right, back to you, JJ.
Jeff, we haven't been able to talk to you since you promoted the offensive coordinators. Can you just talk a little bit about the decision to promote Will Stein and Matt Maddox as co-offensive coordinators?
It's one of the reasons I think all of us get along so well on this. One, we've had a fairy tale beginning, but other than that, I really try to be honest with you guys And I'm sure Greg was the most disappointed when I got hired December the 9th, 2019, because this question seemed to be like the meanest. But I've tried to really stay true to what I told y'all I was going to do back then. Trust is what? Truth over time. And some of the questions that were brought up back then were the concerns of how do you keep people on staff, and, you know, the success that we hope we had. When we lost all those people, what was the plan? And you've got to be really good in your GAs and your analysts and your QCs. And we've always promoted within. It encourages people to stay because there's hope. And they know they come in and do a great job as a volunteer, as a QC, as a GA or an analyst, that I'm not afraid to move them up. So Will Stein was a GA and an analyst for us at the University of Texas. And I didn't blink moving him up. Obviously, Matt Maddox and I were together at the University of Texas as well. And I didn't blink to move him up to co-OC. Justin Burke, he was with me at Texas as well. So we promoted him up to special teams coordinator, which guess what that does? That means all your volunteers, all your analysts, all your GAs, everybody gets moved up. When you win, there's enough for everybody. When you lose, there's never enough for anyone. And what I was really trying to do, JJ, with that new contract and with the moves that are going on, is that everybody in the building feels better because of the success we had, and hopefully that will continue to be success.
All right. Anything else for Coach? All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
I
Jeff.
appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Coach.
Sure y'all gonna all be at the well tonight at 7 o'clock. JJ's buying the tea.